It's your favorite auntie. I am back with a video because I need to talk to you guys about Miss Sheree Whitfield. I think from one girlfriend to another girlfriend, from auntie to grandma, you need some advice. And we got to get into it, girl, because what's going on in these streets with these men that you're dating, we got to stop this. But before we get into this video, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that you're notified every time I drop a video. Let's get into it. Sheree, girl, you are out here in these streets ignoring the red flags. You know what? At this point, it's not even red flags. It is billboards of information telling you this is not the person for you. I had to come and do a video about this because I can't take it no more. I cannot take seeing in the headlines or on any reality show of you dating another guy like these guys you've dated in the past. The first season of Housewives, you were getting divorced from Bob Whitfield. And you kind of talked about on the first season how he was cheating on you, infidelity, in your marriage, and you were leaving him. Okay, rightfully so. I completely understand that. But I will say this. When I looked at you and I looked at Bob, as we say in Louisiana, girl, I was buku confused. Like, Trey, how you end up with Bob? I'm confused on that, girl. It didn't look like y'all was a match. And you were definitely giving us gold digger vibes. Because after you got your divorce from him, well, even before you got your divorce, you said on the show that you wanted to leave the marriage with 7 figures. I was like, oh, okay, I see what this is. It definitely looked like you married him for money. Then you went on Iyanla Fix My Life back in 2013. Bob put you on blast when y'all did that show. He painted you as a gold digger, and he pretty much said that, yeah, he felt like you never even loved him. He said that you would not support him. You came to the games all late. It looked like when you were coming, it was more about a fashion show versus coming to see him. Now, I'm not saying Bob was perfect or anything like that, but what I'm saying is if you look at the reason why you were in a relationship with Bob, you have to ask yourself, did I really get in a relationship with this man because I really loved him? Or was I excited about the life that he could provide for me? Because at the time you already had a child when you guys met. And then you had more kids after that. So I think you got caught up in what he could do for you instead of actually marrying someone that you actually were deep in love with. Now, this is my opinion. Everything in this video is going to be my opinion. None of this is, I would say, factual. We're going to say it's all alleged, but it's my opinion. Bob came back on the scene. Y'all did Iyanla Fix My Life. He straight up embarrassed you. I don't even know how you guys came back together, but at some point you came back together. And I guess you tried to date again. I think that was after Iyanla Fix My Life. And you brought him on Housewives saying that you guys were seeing each other, and he embarrassed you again. This man even said in one of the scenes that he committed DV against you. I can't even say that's allegedly because he said it. He said it in the car with you and Phaedra in the car. And I'm thinking, what? So Sheree, you was in a marriage with a man who was capable of putting their hands on you, and you're back with him on this season trying to date him? I did not understand that. All right. Fast forward. I believe after that, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully my timeline is not off completely here. You dated Dr. Ty Muhammad, the sex therapist, Dr. Love. Y'all remember Dr. Love, that season when she brought on Dr. Love? This man brought her a bundle of spray painted flowers from Kroger's. I don't know if y'all remember that. He claimed to be a psychologist when he was on the show, and then he got called out. I believe, was it Nene that called him out? So it was proven. Well, I don't know if it was proven. I won't say it was proven, but it was alleged that he was not a real doctor and that he lied on his resume pretending to be some sex therapist psychologist. We don't think he really was a doctor. If I'm wrong about that, okay, well, I might be wrong about that, but that's how it played out in the season. We didn't see him again. I was like, oh, thank God. Sheree, what is this? Come on now. Next embarrassment. Tyrone. You bring Tyrone on the show. Prison Bay. You waited for this man, and I don't even know for how long because I didn't even look it up, but you waited for Prison Bay to get out of prison. He gets out of prison to do what? He gets out and comes back. Not come back, but he gets out. You bring him on the show and he embarrasses you. You guys are supposed to meet up at a restaurant and film, and he doesn't even come. Now, he claimed that he had on an ankle monitor and that his, I guess, probation officer would not allow him to travel. But according to you, that really was not an issue. He could travel, but he didn't. He ghosted you on the show. He embarrassed you after you sat around and waited for him for years. I'm saying years because that's what they said. It was years. That's alleged that it was years. On the show, it seemed like it was a season that you waited for him, but I don't know how long you really waited for him. But it was too long. It could have been 10 minutes, and you shouldn't have been sitting around waiting on Prison Bay. Prison Bay comes out and decides to play you on the show. Sheree, I thought we had come to a point where with age comes wisdom. It doesn't seem like that's the case. You would think after that, you would say to yourself, you know what? Okay, scrap all that. All these men that I'm dating that don't mean me any good, that I'm just dating the wrong type of guy. I got to switch it up. I got to do something different. Nope, Sheree. You bring on Martel Narcissist Holt to our TV screens, to the Real Housewives of Atlanta from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Everybody knows this man's story from Love and Marriage Huntsville. All of his red flags are all up and through these YouTube streets and our television screen. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing, Miss Sheree? I cannot with you. So you bring on Martel Holt, introduce us to him as your person you're getting to know, enjoying spending time with. We're dating. I think that's the story that you guys gave us. And we're all screaming at our TV and at our phone like, you got to be kidding me, Sheree. You are not doing this. There's no way that you're now going to say that you're dating Martel Holt. I thought you were doing it for a publicity stunt. That's what I was thinking. There's no way. They're using each other. There's no way she's actually dating him. But now that time has passed, I'm like, no, I think you actually did date this man. As soon as you guys did that live in New York, you got a red flag that went up. Let's say you were oblivious to everything you had heard because the way he treated you was just so great. Y'all did that live in New York, and immediately after that, his mistress and the mother of his side baby immediately alerted you that this man eats groceries at her house on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about food. You know the groceries I'm talking about. I know you heard this. She couldn't wait to come out and say that. Then she even released emails between her and Martel. You saw it. Oh, you ignored it because you were excited about this man. You was excited about his image. You liked the way he looked. You couldn't wait to bring him to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, I'm about to bring my new man to the season. And you even hinted at the fact that I think you was falling in love with them. You later recanted that, but you did. During the taping of Love and Marriage Huntsville, you filmed a scene with Tiffany at Martel's magazine calendar party, and she told you that this man was a cheater. So let's just say you still was living in your bubble and you're saying to yourself, he's different with me. He's ready to be this different man and he treats me differently. He's not going to do what he did in his past. Everybody deserves a third, fourth, fifth chance. Let's say you were going with that. This girl sat up there and told you, like, this is who this man is. And yet you said to yourself, nope, nope, nope. I'm going to see where this goes. I think you already knew how it was going to go. I believe you did. There's no way that you could be this oblivious at this age. But here you are at your big age dating these tomfoolery of men. So last month, Sheree went on, she did a podcast called, I think it's called Chanel in the City, where she said, here is a list of my dating requirements. And I was all ears because the past list that we know about her made me think that all she had on her list was he had to be a man and he was taller than her, that was going to be good enough. I'm sorry. That's what she was given, because I just can't understand how she would continue to pick these type of men. So the point of this video is that I wanted to give her some auntie advice. Now, Sheree is older than me, but I feel like she can learn from me and from us, because I want you guys to drop it down in the comments after I give my advice. What advice do you have for her? Because at this point, what she's doing is not working for her. So she might as well listen to us. Let's go through her checklist. She said she wanted a God-fearing man. Sheree, do you know what that means? You have to define that more. That sounds cute. I want a God-fearing man. No, what you want is you want him to have a relationship with God. Is that what you're saying? Because you need to make it plain and make it clear. God-fearing means you want him to actually live or attempting to be living the life that God outlines for him in the Bible. Is that what you want? Because just saying I want a God-fearing man is just, to me, in my opinion, that's vague. If you don't make it plain, you're going to end up with the same type of nonsense and embarrassment on national TV with these men. Let's go to the next thing that she said on her checklist. She said she wanted a man that was family oriented. Okay. I know you guys are like, okay, what's wrong with that? She said family oriented. Bob and Martel were family oriented. They had no issues making babies and being around all of their children, both inside of their marriages and outside of their marriages. That wasn't a problem. Here we go again. We got to be specific in I want a family-oriented man. You need a man that believes in the loyalty of a family. Preferably a man whose kids are grown and won't surprise you with any kids at any event. Hello? You guys know what I'm talking about if you watch the show. Next thing on her checklist, she said, I have to have a man who makes me laugh. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But please let it be you're laughing together and he's not laughing at you. Next on her checklist, she said he has to be healthy and fit. Okay, let's talk about that. Because, okay, we look back at some of the guys that she dated. We can say the marriage one was, I don't know about healthy and fit, but we're not going to judge him like that. But the thing around being healthy and fit, I think you need to be more concerned with less of the exterior and focus more on the man's heart. And you want someone that, of course, I know you don't want anyone that's unhealthy looking. You don't want an unhealthy looking man, but it shouldn't be a priority on your list as far as the aesthetics of a man. Don't be superficial and pick someone that, okay, it's one thing to say, well, I want him to be able to work out. But if he doesn't, be willing to compromise on that, and maybe y'all work out together. You can talk to him about fitness, but at the core of it is his heart. It's how he treats you. That is more important than saying that he's got to be fit, because look what you got. You got Martel. He was a fit man. He was in the gym. Matter of fact, he probably was more conceited than you. So we got to be more clear about this whole he needs to be fit. You said you need someone who has their ish together. You also need to have your self-esteem together to recognize that when they don't have it together, you can exit much sooner. So I'm not mad at the fact that you want somebody who has their stuff together, but you need to be clear on what it is that you want them to have together. What is it? Do you want them to be financially stable? Do you want them to own a home? Do you want them to not have any baby mama drama? What is it specifically that you want when you say, I want him to have his ish together? Because I need you to know this so that you know what you're looking for when you're dating a guy. These vague stuff, that's the problem. Next on your checklist, you said you want a great communicator. That's a great quality in a man. But again, let's be specific about being a great communicator. What you're saying is, I don't want a liar. I don't want somebody who is going to create outside families. And then I find out when maybe we're getting engaged, after we've gotten married. You want someone who is open and honest about what's happening. That's what a great communicator is. That's what I hope you mean. And if that's not, that's what I'm telling you mean. You also said trust. You need a trustworthy man. Absolutely. You absolutely need a trustworthy man. I agree with you on that one. But you also need to be a trustworthy woman. And that includes not lying about who you are. Now, I'm not going to get into all your issues regarding your bills. I'm not here for that part. I'm only here for the relationship part, trying to help you to understand what it is that you need to look for in the next partner. Let's see what else you had on your list. I think that's all you said. But let me say this before I end this video. I need you to get into your next relationship. I need it to be healthy. I need it to be happy. I need you to recognize your worth. And that starts with you. So knowing that if you're honest about who you are and you hold yourself to the morals and integrity, then you can attract the same thing. You have not been making the best choices when it comes to dating, Sheree. I hope you're listening to this. I hope this video finds you. At this age, don't waste your time when you see these deal breakers, red flags, billboards showing you that this is not the person for you. Also, more importantly, you need to listen to the people around you who have your best interests at heart. This past season of Housewives, we watched people try to tell you about Martel, and you became very defensive. Because I think you knew these things and you just didn't want people to call them out, and you wanted everybody to ignore them the way you were ignoring them. You should have a group of people around you who legitimately want to see you win when it comes to relationships, and that are going to be honest with you about the men that you're dating. And I'm not talking about people that don't want to see you happy, single girlfriends. No, I'm talking about people that really legitimately care about your well-being, and they see things that maybe you're not seeing when you're picking the guys. Listen. Doesn't mean that, everything they're saying might be correct, but I need you to do something different this time, because we can't have you coming back on our screens if you're going to be on the next season of Housewives with another tomfoolery type of man. I don't want to see it. Where you are a woman of age now, and that's not a dig, because we all get older. If you live, you'll get older too. That's not a dig, but it's supposed to be when you get older, you get wiser. And so you have to recognize that these men that you dated in the past, you can't do that going forward, or you're going to still end up with the same results. So, my friend in my head, girl, take my advice, take Auntie's advice, and I hope that the next relationship it's your last, and it's your lifetime partner. Well, that's it for this video, you guys. So thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next post. Please drop down in the comments if you have some advice for Sheree.